What we advertise for the trip, we're going to go to the Navajo trip, we're going to go out to the reservation, have a great time. That's the explicit part of the trip, the part that sells the trip. The other part of the trip, the extremely important part of the trip, is implicit.
I don't normally get out of my comfort zone and kind of do trips like this. Being immersed in a culture that I had really no knowledge about was interesting to me.
This is not just about student growth, it's also about personal growth, because I am pushed equally as much as they are.
There's people on this trip that haven't camped out before, haven't cooked like we're cooking, haven't had to wake up at the crack of dawn. He's pushing them in a way that's not deterring them from, enjoying themselves, but in a way that they're wanting to excel and making sure that they're getting the full investment from this trip also.
So making this trip happen for his students, I think it requires someone who has a passion for this type of education.
The university is really interested in experiential education, getting people out of Bowling Green in Northwest Ohio.
So I kind of got in a van with 10 or 11 strangers and drove to an entire new part of the continent. And by the end of the van ride, I loved them already.
The way the trip is structured really pushes you to experience things in a whole new way.
The first part of the trip really is kind of exhausting students mentally and physically. We drive 24 hours straight from Bowling Green to the reservation. Then we go on a series of hikes. We probably have hiked 25 miles.
How do you define what a great trip is? Well, that means sleeping out on the ground. Does that mean not showering? Does that mean being with people who look a little different than me? Does that mean trying to live a couple weeks without my technology?
Unplugging from my phone was a huge difficulty at first, especially because I didn't know anybody, so I wanted to immediately go on my phone whenever I felt just a little uncomfortable or it was a little too quiet.
Having my phone would get in the way, I feel like, of genuine connection that you get with other people.
You're only going to have the opportunity to do this once. You can't find something like this on the internet. Like, you can find facts, but you can't find the feeling and you can't find the perspectives of the people around you. So why would you want to go on your phone when you could have this type of experience?
When you're out here, it's just you and your friends and the elements. Those are real emotions. Everything is raw.
I find it challenging sometimes being with as many people as there are on this trip.
There is conflict. People have had enough chance to get to know each other, so when the conflict happens, they grow from the conflict rather than say, okay, I'm not going to deal with you anymore. But they're together, sleeping in tents together, they have to deal with it.
It's kind of like a sibling type thing because, you're with them no matter what for that time being.
That's part of why I wanted to come. I don't think that I could form relationships like this with people just from knowing them in class.
It is a specific way of doing education that deals both with the head and the heart, that engages the whole person.
This trip was definitely a hands-on learning experience. Every day it's kind of something different, and you learn just by talking to different people or just going on the hikes. It sticks with you more than just reading a page out of a book.
It's paramount that they are challenged in some way, personally, to have a better understanding of who they are. I think that that's where the biggest growth comes from.
It's the perfect mix of structured and unstructured and personal learning and exploring, and then also sharing communal experience, and then giving you enough space and time to process that on your own.
You just can't get any of this in a classroom, and this is like the kind of experiences that shape who you are as a person.
I think that creating more trips that challenge you to experience things that are hard while providing the support for you to get through those is a very empowering experience, because I think a lot of people here didn't think we could do a lot of things that we ended up stepping up to do.
They're going to learn about the Navajo, but that's not what the trip's about. It has less to do with them knowing about the Navajo and more about them knowing about themselves.
Being on this trip, it just really opened my eyes to different types of living, different types of people, just different cultures. It made me more aware of the world around me, and it helped me get out of my bubble.
People can grow and get old, but I don't know how they get wise unless you're challenged, unless you challenge yourself and how you learn about the world or learn about yourself.
If I wasn't going to BG, I don't think I would have been able to have this experience.
I would encourage every single student to do this.
Curiosity, I think, is really important, and that students that come to college aren't just looking for that degree that's going to make them a lot of money. They're also looking for things that are bigger than that. And I think these trips offer that opportunity.